My name is Jacqui. I'm 20 years old. I live in Limerick, Ireland, and I'm a third year Bachelor of Arts student in the University of Limerick, and I study geography along with public administration and leadership.
And my name is Maeve McCarty. I'm from Galway. I'm a third year student studying French and geography, and art student as well.
So both geography students?
Yes.
Interesting. I didn't realise that. I thought one of you did like environmental science, but you're both arts geography. That's great. And you both won the VEC?
20. It was just before Christmas, yeah.
And that is the virtual environmental challenge. So do you want to explain a little bit about what that is as a challenge, and then tell me what went into you guys winning?
It's obviously virtual because of COVID, and I think it's virtual anyways, but it's an eco challenge. So kind of how to make your campus more eco-friendly and more sustainable, let's say. So some people had ideas ranging from like completely changing the toilet use in the college. And then some people had it like keeping it very low key, like cutting the grass less. There was a high range of things. So I think that's kind of what it was about.
Yeah, I think it was just trying to get ideas from all over. And I think there was 4 or 5, maybe 6 different countries involved. We probably should have looked this up before we had this. But yeah, so it was just basically Eco Campus. That was our whole idea, and it was all hosted online. We had like a little virtual kind of classroom. I think it was on Padlet. And so everything kind of went up there, and it was through presentations and videos of all how we got our information for the challenge.
And how did you both become involved in it? Like, where did you see it advertised kind of to join?
We got an email that just out to all geography students and said, if you're interested in doing this in lieu of one of your subjects, please sign up, and we'll let you know if you can be a part of it.
So did you both know each other before you signed up for it? Or did you become...
Since we're in the same course, doing the same geography module, we would have kind of seen each other just in the module, but if we didn't like communicate with each other to say, if you do it, I'll do it. It wasn't that sort of a thing.
Okay. It was to replace your Erasmus, which is obviously something that students this year are still having to kind of deal with. Are they going to get to go, aren't they? So would you recommend for geography students to do it? Or do you think there are other subjects, if you didn't do geography but maybe did another subject, it would help you in terms of if they wanted to put forward an idea for the challenge?
I think it's a good alternative if you can't go on Erasmus. I wouldn't necessarily replace, because it's nice to go to a different country, but of course when that's not possible, and if you can't go outside of COVID due to health reasons or anything like that, I would definitely recommend it as something to do, because it definitely incorporates some of the key competencies that are essential to Erasmus, like communicating in your native language, communicating outside your native language, your technological skills, just communication in general, and learning about new cultures. It definitely ticks off a lot of those boxes, so you will be getting quite a bit of Erasmus experience. But it would have been nice to actually go somewhere. But since that couldn't happen, it was definitely the next best thing for sure.
I was just going to say the same thing. Yeah, it's personally, like, in my opinion, it was a very educational, but it's nothing compared to an Erasmus and actually going to a different country and experiencing it firsthand, person to person, rather than, nothing is the same through a screen rather than face to face. So I would have chosen Erasmus. But if you can't do Erasmus, like Jacqui said, then definitely recommend it, yes. And
in terms of the VEC, like you said, you kind of had work put online on like an online portal. What was the structure of it? Because I think for a lot of people, that's kind of what worries them a little bit about doing things like that. It's, how much work am I actually going to have to do? Do I have to speak to other people? That kind of stuff. So what was, the structure of the challenge itself?
The structure kind of did change because of COVID, even though it was a virtual challenge, which Maeve and myself didn't really understand, because it's like we're all online. But in France and stuff, they were actually still on campus and going in, which is so lovely for them. So the kind of time scale and stuff did change, but the fundamentals stayed the same. So it was 4 rounds, and each round, you know, you had people who were progressing and people who weren't. But even if you didn't kind of progress to the next level, you still could make your YouTube video. You could still further your idea and put it up online for everyone to see. You just weren't getting marked on it, which I thought was really lovely, because you could still have the whole experience, but like you just wouldn't have points at the end, per se, which I thought was really lovely. And I thought we might end up doing that. I was like, you know, because it was in replacement of one of our subjects, so we would have got graded on it anyways, even if we didn't get the whole way to the final. So we had to, you know, do a presentation, and then we had to do a little video of our little presentation and put that on YouTube. The final, where it's basically do the presentation again, but more conversational and more like a TED talk. So that was kind of our guidance for that. And it was basically, we did the presentation and we kind of just warped the presentation into different stages to get to the final. So it was fundamental, our slides, and then we just adapted them into different formats to fit what they were looking for in each step.
And just about the work, you mentioned people are a bit afraid because of the amount of work, but you really don't do anything all by yourself. There's nothing where you're like, okay, you do this and the next person does this. It's all, the teamwork is so strong. Everybody is like, will this work? Well, I'm not sure. What do you think? And it's complete teamwork. Nothing is broken up into person to person. It's teamwork. And that was actually, unless that was just between us, I'm not sure, but I don't know, I found the teamwork really strong. Yeah. And if you're doing this sort of thing, you obviously enjoy environmental science and ecosystems and sustainability. So you're going to enjoy what like the subject matter and everything in the first place. So hopefully it wouldn't really be work. It would just be, you know, kind of like an enjoyable thing to do, hobby sort of.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like anything, if you enjoy it, it's half the work done, isn't it?
Exactly.